Welcome to the newest episode of our Castles and Crusades and Planescape actual play, Save Hell. My name is DM Steve, and we're the Dicks in the Dark. And if you like Castles and Crusades, or Planescape, or both, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell to make sure that you don't miss any episodes of this really fun game that we're playing. Leave us a comment to let us know how we're doing. And if you're being generous, share the stream to let other people share the fun. Without further ado, the newest episode of Save Hell. Enjoy.
Shadows of the battlefield, the Union man stands tall. Silent assassin in the night, heed the Reaper's call. Beside him strides a tiefling, holy fire in his eyes. Paladin of dark and light, beneath the blood-red skies. Bound by fate, three souls unite in the depths of hell to make you right. Save hell, save the multiverse, break the chains, reverse the curse, and the fire in the flame. Three heroes rise to win the game. And Aasimar of ancient lore, wizard of the plains, with spells that rend reality and magic that's insane. They march into the abyss, where angels fear to tread, to save the realms of all we know. We walk among the dead. Bound by fate, three souls unite in the depths of hell to make you right. Save hell, save the multiverse, break the chains, reverse the curse, and the fire in the flame. Three heroes rise to win the game.
When last we left our three characters, our three heroes, they were pulled from their everyday lives, ripped into a hellish dungeon, a gauntlet. They had to endure many tasks, and at the end, they were informed that they shared some sort of a mysterious common lineage, and that they were to be tasked with saving hell. Who knows what that meant? But as they exited the dungeon, they found themselves on the Outlands, near Aepheus's master's tower. The tower had been ransacked, and inside were bandits who were not actually bandits. In fact, they created an illusion that almost ended Brunyr. But fortunately, his friends were there. They bested these mysterious bandits. And finally, things settled down a bit. Aepheus, after securing the tower of Archimethylgarathes, cooked up a somewhat edible dinner for the rest of his new friends. They ate and, filled their bellies at least, while getting to know each other, telling each other a little bit about where they're from. After finally having some dinner and a little bit of healing, everyone was exhausted. You went up to Aepheus's bedroom and started to fall asleep. Brunyr sketching the spire in the window. Well, I don't know about anybody else, but I remember that Reg said that he sleeps in the buff. That was at the very, very end. So we'll have to see if that actually carries forward. But you drifted off to sleep, and because you were so exhausted from the past 2 days of just absolute hellish horror, your bodies gave out, and you slept a dreamless sleep. And then, all right about at the same time, you're the three of you start to stir because there's some sort of a noise. What is that screeching, and where is it coming from? It sounds like hello, hello, can anyone hear me? There is a shrill voice that is shrieking in the distance. You think maybe somewhere in this tower. What is that? All three of you are kind of startled by it. And it's continuing. So you're like waking up, rubbing the sleep from your
Actually,
eyes.
so Reg, because he's a soldier, and because this is what he's up.
Oh,
he's
he's
up.
used to someone
He's-
yelling to get him awake, sure.
But not only that, but he's up because this is not right. Is somebody invading?
Hmm.
He's up, boots are on,
So
grabbing. He's ready. He's like getting ready for combat. Actually,
right. Okay. What about the other
because
two? What about Brundy?
Yeah, Grundy's gonna follow suit, but like pretty lazily just roll out of the bed and flop onto the ground and just like fumble around for his sword and shield and like he's there. He's groggily there, but he's like grabbing stuff and getting up.
Aepheus, make an intelligence check and tell me what you're doing.
Sure. In what order?
Go ahead and make the intelligence check while you're telling me what you're doing.
Okay. Aepheus stirs from his sleep a little bit as the strange voice calls out in a name that he thinks he remembers. And when Reginald Sinclair jumps up and scurries to get ready in his militant way that he kind of snaps alert Aepheus a little bit more. Um, for a moment, he's confused about who these people are, but then it comes back to him actually.
Right. What are you doing in my bedroom?
What the hell? That is an intelligence check. God, my intelligence is so good.
Okay. So you're
Sorry.
hearing this noise, this racket, this person yelling is what it sounds like. And again, you think that it might be coming from your master's chambers?
Okay, so I will quickly shuffle out of bed and then run down the steps, swing open the door to my master's chambers.
Reg is right behind him because like he's on alert.
Right.
He's ready to stab something at this point.
Okay. Okay. So remember, you're up in the upstairs,
Yes.
in the very top kind of loft area. So you run down the stairs. Reg, of course, with his boots on, he's grabbed his knife and everything. He's right down the stairs after you. Brundy, who is kind of, lazily putting on his stuff, is he kind of the same way? Like he's up after them, but
Yes,
not quite as
groggily
quickly.
following, bringing up the rear for sure.
Not a morning person. Okay. So Aepheus runs down with Reg right behind him, and he swings open the door to his master's chambers. And when he swings open the door, the sound, the voice becomes more clear. Arkham after Garrethies! Hello? Hello? Is anyone there? And you can see that in the room, your master has this long mirror. And within the mirror, you see the image of a very unusual looking, you think, gnome with large earmuffs and like a big scarf. And he seems to be frantically yelling your master's name and trying to figure out if anyone is home, essentially. Hello?
No
Yeah,
wonder.
okay.
No wonder his master is so goddamn grumpy. If that's how he gets woken up, like in the mornings.
Yeah, that's a terrible alarm clock. But first of all, is Aepheus, is this something he'd be used to seeing or even knowing about? Like, have things appeared in his master's mirror before?
No, no. This is
No?
the first time he's ever seen this. As far as he was aware, it was just like a regular wardrobe mirror. Like it's one of those big, tall, oval mirrors that can kind of like swing, and it's on a stand, but it's like, almost the size of a person. And normally you use that mirror when you're like cleaning his
Getting
feet
dressed.
or
Oh.
like, yeah, like no, like when the only times you have to go into your master's chamber is if you're like attending to like some need that he has, usually some like disgusting need. And so often you have to have a candle and a mirror to, like pop a boil or like do something weird. And yeah, so you thought it was a mundane mirror, but now it almost looks like it's a window into another place. Clearly it's somehow enchanted, and what you're seeing is a person, like this little gnome guy. And you can see that he's kind of, when you walked in the room, he kind of starts going like this.
Like,
Hello?
looking at him. Well, what the
What?
devils?
What in tarnation?
Who is that? Hey, you don't look like Archimethil Garrethies. Who are you?
No, I certainly do not. Who are you? Oh,
Me?
what business do you have with my master?
Well, your master and his apprentice. Wait, you're the apprentice. What is your name?
Hey, is this one? Wait a minute, wrong. Is this one of them? Is this another one of them demons?
Demon?
No, no, I don't think so. Um, uh, yes, sir, my name is Aepheus Belamonti, apprentice to Lord Archimethil Garrethies.
I
Um,
see.
yeah, I assume you're inquiring about our arrival in Sigil, if I had to guess.
Sigil,
Um,
yes, yes. You are supposed to be here 2 days ago. We had
there's
no correspondence, nothing. You, sir, are tardy.
Yes, there's been a bit of a complication. I do apologize on both myself and my master, um, who, speaking of which, has, I'm afraid, gone missing, and we've been.
Missing?
Yes, for the life of me, I can't find him anywhere around the tower. There's no sign of where he went. I mean, we were supposed to go on this journey, among other things that have happened, and uh, I don't know our course of action from here. I would be delighted, of course, to still come to Sigil, and
Sigil, it's
have I been
clear
saying it?
that you don't know
Sigil.
all the things that you need to know. But trust me and be sure, you will. Archimethylgarethes has done a disservice to you, young man, but the governors will shape you up. Be sure. You need to get here to Sigil, to the
Yes,
headquarters of the governors. You have to get here.
I would be
And,
delighted to, but I don't know how.
well, your master has a port key to right outside. Do you know where it is?
No, is it possible that he had it on his belongings and it is now missing? Do I need to acquire other means of transportation to Sigil? My apologies.
It's okay, young man. You're new. But, like I said, the governors will whip you into shape. If I am right, your master's port key to right outside here looked like an apple with a bite out of it.
Oh,
What?
If you can find the apple with the bite out of it, and then he kind of like tries to like look around the room even though he's like in the mirror. He says, holding it and walking through your master's closet should bring you right where you need to be. And you need to be here soon. See if you can find the port key, and if you cannot, well, come back to the mirror and call me. Remember,
and
my name is Guildo Gardenia,
hold on a
clerk
second.
at the
Hold on.
governor's.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna need to go to the Docs journal for that one.
Here, hang on. Let me
Gardino? How do you spell
Yeah,
that?
just go ahead and put it in
go
there.
ahead and
Go ahead and do
put
that for
that
us.
because it's got a little bit of a weird spelling too.
What?
Wow.
Guildor Gardenia.
Excuse me.
Who are you?
I'm Reg. This apple, is it a real apple? Or is it a fake apple?
Yes and
Is it
no.
like a wooden apple that's been carved with it? Or is it like a real apple
I
that's like
believe it is a real apple, but it is no longer an apple.
Just out of curiosity,
hey,
Mr.
hey,
Gardenia,
hey,
what would
did you,
happen if someone were to consume such a port key?
yeah, did you put that in the stew last night?
No, of course not.
I
Not with a bite out of it,
I
please. I
don't
know it's
believe that
bad.
you could have consumed it.
Is
If
that
my
why it tasted so
recollection is
bad?
correct, it's petrified. You'd probably break your teeth. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. Some folk have very strong teeth. That one back there looks
Yeah,
like he has
I look
strong
back at
teeth. And
Reg and I'm like,
no, he's looking back at like Grundy, because Grundy is probably
oh,
now
Grundy.
like shuffled into the room. And that one back there looks like he has very strong teeth.
What are y'all doing?
Right.
Why are we talking to him here?
It's just among the many strange things that happen around here these days. But okay, we will search
There.
for the port key. Um, and if we cannot find it, I shall report back to you here promptly. Um, Unfortunately, circumstances have it that these gentlemen here are. I'm responsible for their company. Would they be allowed to attend as with and make their introduction with the governors?
Well, I suppose you can't leave them at the tower of Archimethylgarethes with no one home.
Yes, certainly not.
If you are not able to just eject them onto the Outlands, I suppose that, well, make sure that they're holding on to each other and yourself as they come through the closet. Otherwise, something very bad could happen, and we'll figure out what to do with them when you get to the city. No more dallying. Find the port key. Walk through the closet. I'll see you soon.
Right. See you soon. Thank you so much. All
And the
right.
mirror becomes a regular mirror again.
I'm a side quest initiated.
Uh,
Find the
Yeah.
apple.
yeah. Aepheus is just like his temples. Just All right. Gentlemen, you heard the man. I guess not Brundy here. We're looking for an apple. It's hard as stone. It has a bite out of it. Um, that is our key to where we need to go next.
Well, he's Reg goes over to the closet and opens the closet.
Reg goes over to the closet. He opens the closet, and the closet is filled with like robes that are like hung up, and there's some like stinky
He's gonna
slippers and
he's gonna like how are we gonna get to where that guy was through here with an apple?
Well, I must say that an apple is quite a humorous port key, but around here it's not so uncommon. Uh, well, I mean, you stepped through the portal when we left that hellish dungeon. I mean, it's just another thing like that. Um,
Oh, okay. I'll tell you
it's a
what,
doorway.
you boys look for the apple. I'm gonna go down and see if you have anything resembling coffee.
Okay.
So Reg is gonna leave the room and go downstairs and try to find some coffee
okay.
and maybe try to whip up a little bit of breakfast himself
Okay.
for
Go-
everybody.
Right. Go ahead and make an intelligence check for Reg. And then what is Aepheus going to do in his search for the port key?
Um, I suppose that Aepheus would begin checking his master's chambers first and foremost,
Okay.
since he was supposed to have the key, and it's a pretty noticeable object, I would say. Um,
Right. And then what is Brundy going to do? Is he going to just kind of help look around for this apple, or is he going to do something else?
Yeah, I think he's just not gonna question it. Be like, okay, we're looking for an apple, I guess. I would check in the kitchen. Like I would go
Okay.
check where there would be food.
Okay. All right.
of
So
course.
Brundy leaves the room and seems like he's heading downstairs. And Aepheus, go ahead and make an intelligence check. You're kind of looking around. You've been in here, you kind of have an idea of where things are.
Did that not go through? Oh, okay.
So you're looking around. You look around for a little while, and then you have an idea. You you think you've seen something that looks like an apple, but it's maybe smaller than you thought it was. You open up your master's side table, the drawer, and when you slide it open, there's a very, very little small green apple, like a little crab apple, and it's got like a
So,
tiny bite taken out of it.
you find this apple?
Yeah,
Did you
no,
find
no.
this?
Yeah, it's got a
That would
bite
be
taken out of it.
hilarious if he just had a
Just an eye. Yeah.
just an
What
iPhone.
is It's just this this slate, this little like it looks like it's
Uh-huh.
made of like shiny slate. It's like perfectly smooth.
Yeah,
You have no idea what it is.
the best magic item.
Yeah.
But okay, I mean this must be it. I will go downstairs and let the others know that I found it. Um, and of course, I'm not gonna rush breakfast or anything, and
Mhm.
I have to choose my spells anyway. So
Right. As you take a look at it, in the little spot where the bite is, you had to do a double take. It almost looks like there's like a tiny little worm, but the worm is like only like half there. It's like almost kind of flickering in and out of existence. And it's
Is
like
it like a
so
little
small that you can
tequila worm?
right, and it's so small that you can like almost barely see it. So like when you look at it, there's just like a tiny bit of movement. You're like, wait, what?
It's a wormhole worm.
ah.
Mm-hmm.
Done.
Did it.
But
So Grundy makes his way down to the kitchen and where Reg cannot find anything that he recognizes. He's like going through the kitchen. He can't even nothing. I mean pots and pans clearly, you know,
Eggs.
but other than that, he cannot find anything that he's like trying to figure out ingredients. He knows Aepheus went into a little pantry area and he's looking through that, can't find anything. So Grundy kind of comes down and sees Reg just looking completely confused.
I think I will help him look for breakfast as well as for the apple at the same time. But like, can I also try to look through to see if I can make something? See if there's
yeah,
any edible food for us.
I'm sure Reg might not be able to recognize anything, but Grundy could probably recognize things.
Right, right. As Grundy gets down there, he's kind of having a little bit more luck. Uh, does Reg attempt to describe coffee to
Yes, he does.
Grundy?
So
Oh no, do we not have coffee here in the Outerlands?
you guys probably have tea, but you probably don't have coffee.
Poor
So
bastards.
all right. So coffee. So let me try to figure. Let me try coffee. Now them Rebs,
Coffee.
they use chicory. We don't want anything like that, but in a pinch that'll do. So coffee is it's like a black powder that's ground from these beans, right? And these beans they come from the jungle. But you get these beans and you grind them up into black powder, and then you put them into a pot, and you put them into this pot, and then you pour boiling water over the over the bean powder, the coffee, right? And you let that steep for a few minutes, and then very carefully, or maybe not, you pour the steeped water into a cup, and that's what you drink. And that's coffee. And it wakes you up a little bit.
Um, I see. I think we have some type of hallucinogenic pretty close to that. A skooma? Are you familiar with skooma?
Hallucinogen. What?
Khajiit has wares if you're feeling.
Have I heard of anything similar to that, or anything that like
Mm.
gives you energy other than a strong potion of some sort?
Yeah, I mean, really, that sounds like two things to you. One, some sort of a potion or an elixir, or two, it kind of sounds similar to tea, other than the fact that tea is not a bean, but you do
Mhm.
know that like tea is like some kind of ground up plant, and it's dried, but you pour boiling that the preparation sounds familiar. Pouring boiling water, letting it steep.
Telling you right now, if we ever get to my home, my Earth, I'm gonna have them hooked on tobacco and coffee.
I was just thinking, it's like
Mhm.
they're just gonna be drug addicts.
I was gonna say, also it's the 1800s, so
Oh, I know.
tobacco, coffee,
Just
opium.
coke. Yeah,
Opium.
opioids.
It's some sort of opium. like, like, well, here we don't have that traditional healing, but
We got
doc,
this.
but Dr. Cox sells this laudanum here.
Mhm.
Fix you up real good.
Mhm.
Oh,
Everything that ails you.
Mm.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Whale Ridge. I think you might have some knowledge of some advanced alchemy. I don't think I can give you that energy, but we have a thing called tea, where we use plants instead of a bean for this
Oh,
juice.
you got
Um,
tea?
you know tea.
Well, my
Uh,
mama, she drank tea.
they
Tea would be good if we got tea around here.
Yeah, they probably have tea. It's pretty common. Let me look. I'll try to look around specifically for tea.
We
Or
certainly
I
got
use
actually,
tea.
if tea looks the same, he'll look for
Hmm.
tea because if tea is like
tea's tea.
ground leaves,
Yeah.
that's something that's
Earl
Yeah.
Grey was my master's favorite.
You actually find a large cupboard that, like, marked in large letters on it, it says Archimethylgera tea.
That is
I
exciting.
I can't read that.
You can't read it, but they can.
Oh, I
I
need to
can't.
find
Come on.
a tea shop that sells tea and see if we can get an upper end deal going.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when you open that cabinet, that cupboard, it's just filled with the master's tea. I mean, there's all these little jars with all these kind of dried leaves and everything, and with various aromas, minty and fruity. Some even kind of weird, some kind of like musty and like strange smelling. Red, some of the weird. Red smells weird when immediately starts to cough.
No, no, because you just kept saying mint tea, and then you said it was must tea, and then you said it was fruit tea.
I did. I did indeed. All the teas.
Hmm.
Mm. So, uh, you find one that you actually find one that kind of gives you almost a coffee-like smell. It has like
Okay,
a kind of a strong nutty odor.
that's nut tea.
Nut tea.
Perfect. So you grab that and start some. Obviously, you know how to start, a kettle of
Yeah,
water.
yeah. He
You
could he could figure that out. So
right, sure. So you start boiling that up, and as Grundy's kind of looking around, half for the apple and half trying to grab, whatever he thinks looks good to eat for breakfast, Aepheus comes down the stairs with the apple.
Gentlemen, I found the apple. And I see you found the tea. Yes, very nice. If you
Oh,
wouldn't mind brewing me up a cup. Uh,
well, I was fast.
yes, it was. Luckily, I had uh, remembered something of the sort unusual, and this is what it was. Um, I can whip up a quick breakfast for everyone, pull our things together, and we should really be on our way as quickly as possible. Um, but
Grundy,
While we,
do you trust him to make breakfast?
I
Everybody's
was
like,
about to
whoa
say,
now.
I think you did well enough on dinner. I think it's
I
our turn
admit
to.
it. A bit of stress built up, not the proper attention paid. Um, I promise I can do better. Unless, of course, you're quite the culinary artist yourself, then please feel free. But
I think I know the basics. If you got maybe some flour, some grains, I can probably whip something up.
You could always cook as a team.
team cooking. Oh,
Team
that
cooking.
Oh my God! So
that would actually be sick.
This is where we
This-
get what is it? Plate up, and just plate up.
Yeah.
And if we fail, we can't cook.
Let us cook, Steve.
All right, who's gonna take point in the cooking?
I'll let Brundy do it, and I'll
Yeah.
be the assistant.
Since I was
Okay.
and
looking
I
for the
and
stuff,
I and
I'll
I'm
do it.
making tea. I'm actually asking for honey
Oh,
Okay.
certainly. Yeah,
because I
we
don't
have
know if
plenty
they
of
would.
time.
I'm gonna
You gotta have
say,
some kind of sweetener equivalent.
yeah, I'm sure that there's probably some sort of molasses type or honey, some sweet some
We
sweet
have
thing.
Splenda. Get that shit
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Splenda.
It's magica. All right.
Magica.
All right. If you don't
I
have
don't have
any
any
specific like
cooking skills
cooking
now.
type thing, I'm gonna say maybe like a wisdom check
How
is
about if I make a
appropriate.
poison? How about if I make a poisons check?
So go ahead and make a wisdom check, but then we'll add pluses for your friends. Oh my goodness.
Oh God! Oh no! Oh no!
We
We can't cook.
Uh,
We
oh my
cannot
God!
cook.
Well, can I make tea?
Since you're just making tea, we'll go ahead and have you.
Oh my God!
I see it now. Our first NPC, we're getting a chef, someone that can cook.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Wow! Oh
After
my
a
God!
After just a few short minutes of both Reg trying to make tea and Aepheus and Brundy attempting to cook, not only is the entire kitchen filled with smoke,
It's on fire.
the entire tower is filled with smoke, every room.
Oh,
It's kind of
oh.
like that one Thanksgiving. Dan,
Oh
do you
God!
remember that one Thanksgiving where we like smoked out you smoked out the kitchen? We literally had it was cold, but we had to open every window in the
Yep.
house.
Yep.
That's what you're having to do. You're now having to
Uh,
run around the tower and
mm,
literally physically open windows because unless you took some kind of a cantrip that allows you to like move and make some airflow, then yeah, you're just gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way, and like you're waving towels, everybody's coughing,
Yeah.
and it's yeah, it's kind of a mess.
Would could I
Wow.
use pyrotechnics like reverse pyrotechnics? It makes smoke. It doesn't get rid of it.
Yeah,
Probably
think
not.
I don't think that works. Yeah, no, you'd just
oh
be
my
adding
God!
to the confusion. So you're you're fanning smoke. It's been a while, and then all of a sudden you hear Aepheus Belamonti! And you realize that it's probably been about an hour because you guys have been trying to make breakfast and just really it didn't go well. And now Gwildor Gardenia, clerk of the governors, is screaming at you from your master's mirror. You can hear it even though you're downstairs. He's very loud.
Well, fellas, I don't know what you guys saw. I didn't see anything. This didn't happen. Let's go upstairs. How about
We
that?
just show up, just smell
Did I?
horribly of smoke.
Yeah. So
You,
he is gonna take a sip of this tea.
you're not
Little burn.
sure. You're not. Can you burn tea? You're not sure what happened, but maybe it's the tea. It's
Molasses.
it's not good. Whatever it is, nothing that you have is edible, and it's just really bad. And it's smoke filled.
Mm.
You're kind of thinking, yeah, maybe it's a good idea to
Yeah.
skedaddle out of here because things probably aren't gonna get much better.
I'll uh, I'll I'll treat you fellas to some brunch in the city. How about that? Let's make our way.
I
Let's
think that's a good idea. should
Yeah,
we
it's
should
pretty
we
rough.
put these out?
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean you've
If
already.
No.
we didn't already do that.
Yeah, of course. You've to stop the first thing you did to stop the smoke was put out any kind of little fires that you had. You've you've gotten everything cleared out, the windows. Really all you have to do is shut the windows and go upstairs.
All right.
So you do that. You kind of trudge upstairs, somewhat defeated, and you open the door to your master's chambers, and of course, inside, the screaming visage of Gwildor Gardenia in the mirror. What are you doing? Did you find the port key?
Yes. Hello. I believe we found the port key. I hold it
Why
up
is
and
there smoke in the room? You see, there is actually a little tiny bit of smoke just drifting in
yeah,
the room.
walking in. Uh, I'm a magician. I don't claim to be a chef, sir. Um, uh,
Oh, good
if,
lords! Do you have the port key? I should be seeing you soon. Gwildor out! And, like, once again, the mirror becomes a mirror, and you stand in your master's chambers.
Defeated.
Now,
oh dear.
Aepheus, do we have any reason to be suspicious of this mirror? I'm trusting you here that this is a up and up situation. Do we need to be on our guard?
Ah, honestly, with everything that's happened over the last few days, Brunyr, I cannot give you a single guarantee about anything. But
By by the way, who were these governors we're supposed to go see?
right. So the spire there that you saw and you sketched last night by the window, that lies below the city of Sigil, which um, many say is the center of the universe, the very end of the universe. It's a very special place. And the governors are one of the factions there uh, that take part in the city, and that I was going to continue my apprenticeship and studious uh, or tutelage under. Um, Now, unfortunately, this isn't exactly how I wanted to start this trip, but um, I ask, with everything that has happened, please try to be courteous and understanding. You're going to see some very strange things. Um,
Like we
but
haven't seen some really strange things.
very
Everything's
true.
have been the strange thing. Just Reg just starts breaking down. He's just like everything's been strange.
Yes, it has. But I guess, is there anything you gentlemen need uh, to collect yourself or anything around here with before we take off? I probably should grab a few things myself. Um,
Think you got an extra knapsack? Because I don't think I have a knapsack. Actually, I know I don't have
yeah,
a knapsack.
I'm sure that we have another bedroll around. Can I search around for some bandages to take? Because I'm out of bandages.
Yes, yeah. You know there are bandages. Actually, in fact, in your master's chambers, you're always having to like bandage up little like weird sores and stuff. So you know where all like you could actually take a, like kind of a whole kit.
So is there a healing kit equivalent? Is
Um,
that a
Oh,
Castles and Crusades item?
no, I would just say just label it as your master's healing kit. And know that it's got like bandage and gauze and like maybe some ointments.
Does that have a? Are you going to specify a number of uses for that, or is that just like a toolkit kind of thing?
Um, I'm gonna say that you probably have. It's a whole kit that's meant to last for like a while. So I'm gonna say that it's probably got like a dozen uses.
Okay. Then I've got that.
But it's not like a full like a healing potion. It's more like
No, no,
just
I
yeah,
figured
like a
that
kit
would be.
to bandage, basic, first aid kit. Essentially, it's a first aid kit.
Right.
As far as the knapsack or rucksack or some kind of yeah, you're able to look around and find something that's pretty satisfactory. It definitely doesn't go with your gear, but
Yeah, yeah.
whatever. Anything Brundy's looking for while these guys are kind of grabbing stuff from the tower before they leave. You're kind of in a little bit of a haste because you don't want
Mhm.
you you don't want
Ah!
exactly. You're trying to
Ah!
avoid that again.
yeah. I remember I broke a sword. I probably won't find a sword in the tower, but could I find like even just a
Right.
backup weapon, like a dagger,
Mm.
just a second knife to keep on me?
That's so unlucky. I forgot about
Oh
that. That
yeah,
happened
that's right.
so early.
I still have my
So
primary weapon, just like a quick small knife.
right, yeah. So you don't find a sword. Obviously, there is no
Yeah.
swords in the tower, not even like a small one or an ornamental
Hmm.
one. But in the kitchen, you find like just a big like butcher knife that looks just really sharp and dangerous. It actually might be bigger than like one of Reg's knives. Like it's a pretty like sharp, pointy knife, and you're like in a pinch, it would do it, it would do dagger damage.
I will maybe reconsider it. Like, is there even like just a club, a simple big old stick in this house somewhere?
Wasn't your original weapon like a claw weapon or some kind of
Yeah,
like
I have a crowbill.
crowbar?
Hmm.
Crowbill?
Crowbill.
Do you still have that or did that break?
No, I still have that.
Oh, okay.
I
Just making
I'm just
sure
now
he
concerned
has.
since I broke one. So like,
Right,
what if I
right,
break this
right.
one?
Just in
Sure.
case.
I'm on a net
Yeah.
match.
So you're looking around, and the master has. It's kind of like a cane cudgel, but it's like this gnarled piece of wood that looks like he's actually got several of them. And they're like kind of these gnarled, kind of twisted pieces of wood that are like about cane size, so they're not full staffs that
Mm,
easily could be used as a club. They even
okay.
have
Yeah,
kind of
Yeah.
like a big, thick head, to hold on to, right? Like, so
I'll grab
yeah,
one of
yeah,
those
you
then.
grab one of those, and they're wood. They're pretty, seems
yeah.
pretty sturdy. You kind of
Yeah, they're very reliable. Master has beaten me many times.
right. That totally makes sense. Fortunately, Arkham Eftelgarathes has a 2 strength, so usually
Dude,
doesn't
sir,
actually
that's
do any
horrible.
damage.
Wow. I'm surprised he can even stand up.
Yeah, he probably barely.
Are we just calling
Magic.
that a club?
Yeah, a club.
Cane.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Well,
Cool.
clubs are good here. Clubs are like 1d6, man. Clubs are like
Plus
Yeah,
one.
not bad.
All
So,
right.
with everything all together, do you finally open the door to the closet, hold hands, and scurry in?
And we're scurrying into the closet. Um, I believe so.
All right. So you open the door to the closet holding the apple. the port key, as it were, and you tell the others to hang on to you. And as you step into the closet,
Oh no.
the world starts to change. And after just a brief bit of disorientation, and me trying to change this thing here. There we go. You find yourselves in some sort of a city. And there are people walking about, and buildings that reach high into the sky. Not only that, as your eyes follow the buildings up, are there are there are there buildings way up there? It almost looks like the whole city just curves upwards. And in the distance, you can kind of see buildings like on what should be the horizon, but then there's no horizon and it just keeps going. It's slightly disorienting at first, and Aepheus, who's been here a few times, is obviously used to it. But both Reg and Brundy kind of end up doing this thing where they're like looking, and it almost
Fall
makes
over.
them both a little bit dizzy. Plus, there are kind of people milling about, so like you're kind of like it for a second. You kind of get shoved around, like somebody like kind of shoves past you guys and goes, "Clueless."
I'll like lightly punch Reggie. Be like, "Isn't this cool? This is so cool. I've never seen something like this."
Reg is like throwing up.
I'm not ready. Oh! I
Well,
ain't never
gentlemen,
seen anything like this in my life.
uh, never gets old. Welcome to Sigil.
Have you been here? You're familiar, Aepheus.
I've
Sigil?
been here.
You mean
Yes.
this? Wait a minute. It's Sigil? So this is like a Jewish city?
Well, I prefer to call it Sigil.
Seagull.
I think that's the better pronunciation. If it is Sigil, it is Sigil. Um, but yes, I've been here a few times with my master before, and yes, it's the land of all lands. It's the gateway to every other realm, home to every creature imaginable plus more. Um, but we'll have plenty of time later to truly appreciate all of its intricacies. For now, we must hurry inside. Um, they've been waiting very patiently.
So you know that just through this archway is the city court, also known as the headquarters of the governors, who are also known, of course, as the Fraternity of Order. And so you start to walk, you see the court, it's daytime. The court is bustling. There are people coming in and out. Um, you see, it's really just, it's quite a thing. Reg is not sure that he's ever seen anything like this. It, he's never been out of the United States, has he?
No.
He's like thinking that this seems like like Paris or something.
He does speak French.
Okay, so that's he's probably thinking that this when he's just looking around, maybe seen some paintings and stuff, and that's like the kind of the closest thing is like it's almost like he's in like Paris or something, but just a really wild magical Paris. As you walk forward, you see the city court. It's constructed of dark stone and has big columns in the front, and they stretch way upward into just the smog-filled city. And there is a lot of smog here. Uh, the front facade is adorned with intricate carvings of all kinds of what Aepheus knows as legal codes and all kinds of weird languages. Um,
Oh, wait,
and
here's the thing. You said it's really, really busy, right?
yes,
Okay. This is me knowing this, but it's everything, isn't it?
what do you mean?
All kinds of races.
Yes,
Things,
yeah, of
things that Reg
course.
has never seen before.
Right,
Is
right.
Reginald about to get racist?
Right. There is well, but here's the thing. For him it's not even like because he would think races, he would think, like human races. These are like weird species that like some of don't even look even cuz like Aepheus has wings, but he looks like a human. Reg, if his thing is flipped off, you've seen his ears, maybe little tiny horns, whatever, but he still kind of looks human. There are people that look like them, but then there are also beings that don't look human at all. In fact, as you're coming into the lobby, there is a giant owl.
Yeah.
So, yes, so there's all kinds of various things in here. And obviously a bunch of humanoid types, but very, very bizarre humanoid types, clearly not human. Probably the weirdest thing that Reg sees is coming out of the building as you're walking in. And like this really blows his mind. There are these things that look like shapes with feet.
What do you mean?
Like they look like geometric shapes with
Oh,
like eyes on them and like little like stick legs and little like stick arms, but it like almost like there's one that like looks like a 12-sided die that just like comes
okay.
out and is just like walks out and like kind of and there's like a group of them that kind of walk out and they walk out in like this perfect order.
Oh,
Are those the weird clockwork beings from
Those are
Mechanus?
modrons.
Modrons, that's what they were
oh.
called. Yeah.
Yeah. And all, of course, everybody's speaking different languages. There are all kinds of like bizarre languages. In fact, out of the corner of his eye, Wretch is pretty sure he catches somebody like opens their mouth and like symbols like show up in the air like above their head.
Yeah.
Like there's almost too much to see here. It's really overload.
Mhm.
And even for Brundy, like he's used to some stuff, but this is way outside
Yeah.
of his comfortability too. He's probably never seen a Modron, never seen anything like half of the beings that he's seeing here. So yes, it's pretty disorienting. Um, you walk inside the halls, kind of amongst the bustle, and you can see that the walls are covered in parchment. You see, it looks like there are courtrooms beyond, but as you walk in, you see there is a kind of a central desk located fairly forward, and at that desk sits somebody that you know very well. And as soon as you walk into the building, you catch his eye, and he says, Aepheus Belamonti! Over here!
Yes, hello. Apologies for our delay.
Well, now that you're here. We've got a lot to do. He starts rummaging through his desk. And he like pulls out this stack of papers like this. And he goes boom, and drops it on the desk in front of him. And then he hands you like an entire bottle of ink and 3 quills. You're probably going to need these. This all has to be filled out before you can even be considered as a trainee to the Fraternity of Order. And we've lost so much time, so you really, really need to get these things filled out right now with accuracy.
Right.
And he pushes the papers towards you.
Gentlemen, you can read and write, right?
They don't need to fill out anything. In fact, while you're doing your work, men of their ilk might be more comfortable at the establishment down the street. If you gentlemen would like to go out and, do the thing that people like you do, then if you go out and take a right about a block down, there's a very popular bar.
Well, Keydor, I feel like I should be insulted by that, but I agree. I think we should leave it to it.
Hold on.
He's smarter than he looks.
Do you have money? Because I only have this. And he pulls out a $1 he's got a couple of them, but he pulls out a Confederate $1 bill.
Do they take gold here, right?
Gold?
Gold.
Gold. Reg is like,
Gold?
of course they take gold here.
Aepheus shifts around in his pocket for a second and takes out a gold piece and hands one to each Brunyr and Reginald. Brunyr, it seems like you're at least sensible with the currency. You don't be played.
Don't spend it all in one place,
boys.
boys.
Don't spend it all in
order. Oh, you should have gave me an Electrum instead.
I don't even have Electrum.
Yes.
I've got $6. That's what I've got. I've got 6 Confederate dollars.
Gwildor Gardenia jumps down from his stool and comes around his desk, and he kind of pushes like Brundy and Reg kind of like
out the door,
out the door a bit, and seems to be kind of guiding Aepheus towards this like row of seats. It's the best way to describe this entry area is it's kind of like the DMV.
Horrible.
There's it's horrible. There's all these people, so there's this like just row of uncomfortable looking chairs along the one wall where Aepheus is now expected to sit and try and like fill out this paperwork on his lap.
Yeah.
With this like big full thing of ink and these 3 quills, and then there's people around him
calling numbers out.
As we're being
calling numbers out, like because remember, this is the courts.
Yeah.
It's like it's the headquarters of the governors, but it's also the city courts for like the whole city. So it's super busy, super chaotic. And yeah, like he basically gives you a spot, jumps back at his desk, and starts doing work.
Well, seems like I've got my fair share of work to do as well, so I'll get to it.
All right.
I'll yell back as we're being pushed out. We'll be back in a couple hours. We'll meet you. We'll see you.
So
Yeah, I'm just like waving them off. I'm busy in it.
right. So Aepheus starts on this paperwork, and it is just the definition of tedium. But he knows that it's really, really important for him to fill this out accurately and completely because it's the fraternity of order. So they expect everything to be done, perfectly. So you figure, oh gosh, I got to take my time. As your stomach is kind of growling.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
this
do
is
have
it.
rations. I'll take out a little bit of rations.
He's
This is it. This is
snacking
how we
on some
save.
rations, some jerky
This, this is how we save hell with paperwork.
with paperwork, exactly.
Hi, I'm Garrett, and I play Brunyr in our Planescape campaign, Save Hell, and you're watching Fixing the Dark.
Exactly.
The
While
hell.
Aepheus is doing that, Reg and Brundy kind of scoot out the door of the city courts, and now you're in the city. And it is weird here. Now, Wildor Gardenia said that if you go about a block down, you'll find a bar. Are you going to do that or nah?
Well, Reg, we could find our own fun, or do you just want to hang out at the bar?
We should probably get something to eat.
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's check out that bar then.
So you walk through the city past all kinds of bizarre looking individuals, and finally you get to a place that, well, to both of you, even though this part of the city is smoky and crazy and unlike anything you've ever seen before, for some reason, this bar, it has like a familiar, homey look to it. And while Reg can't read it, Brundy looks up, and in common, in very plain common, right over the door, it says Joe's.
Ha!
Who's Joe?
Joe's.
Joe's.
Joe Mama.
Joe Mama. And it
Wow.
looks like there's the smell of some food wafting out the doors. Clearly, people are in there cavorting, eating. It's not super busy because it seems like it might be not peak dining hours. You're not actually sure what time it is because it's just time has been weird for a while. So you only have your bearings of like what you've the
Mm-hmm.
schedule that you've been on. But yeah, it doesn't seem like it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. But there are a decent amount of people in here. You walk in, and you see there's a fairly average, normal looking human bartender. Brown hair, brown eyes, just a plain old regular looking guy with maybe a 5 o'clock shadow. Again,
God.
he looks like he would be the bartender at Reg's local bar in Canton. And maybe even some guy that Brundy's possibly seen, in Faerun. He seems kind of the normal, pretty average looking guy. And then when he sees you coming, he says, Hey there, fellas. You need a drink?
And
No,
some food.
to be an
If you don't-
asshole, you should have done the whole Men in Black thing where he
What?
That half came through.
Yeah,
yeah
that didn't. I don't think that
yeah
Speaking an
quite
alien,
worked.
pretty much.
Yeah, I
yeah
think
just weird Men in Black alien weird words.
for the barkeep,
Yeah.
that would have just been irritating. Like, I'm gonna make the barkeep talk in a weird language that you guys
Yeah.
don't understand.
No guarantees. Hello.
Food then?
Yes, sir. If you can get us 2 large plates of whatever you're cooking and whatever you have on tap would be great. Actually, how much would that run us? What's your cost?
Let's see. House special, 2 of them, plus frothy ale. Let's see. That probably come to about 6 silver.
Silver.
6 silver. How about we call it 12? Can you split a gold for me?
Yeah, of course I can. Unless you want to
Red just
try.
flip it out like, you guys pay with gold and silver here?
Uh, unless you want to try the house special drink. That's a little bit more, but one for each of you. Will call it an even gold.
What's the house special drink?
It's called Gazarine.
Oh, God. What's the regular drink?
Well, like I said, pour you both a frothy mug of ale. Definitely want to have that, but the
I'll just
Gazarine is what Joe's is famous for.
I'll just take the ale.
All right.
I'll give it a shot. Can you still split a gold? 50 silver?
Yeah. Wait, a gold isn't 50 silver, is it?
Well, 50,
Oh,
50 for the special drink
10.
and the food.
This isn't so.
Isn't it base 100? Or am I crazy?
Silver.
Or space 10.
Yeah, silver is like 10 gold or 10 silver to a gold.
Ah. Oh, I said. Oh, I see what I did here.
Yeah, you'll get 2 silver back from that.
No, sorry for the trouble. You can keep the gold. It's all right.
All right, thank you. By the way, my name's Joe. And Joe takes your gold and he starts pouring you some frothy ales. He pours each of you an ale, and then
Well, no,
he
I think Grundy wanted the gasoline.
And yeah, and
well he told you should have an ale with it.
mhm.
Oh, I see.
So he poured both of you a mug of ale, and then he pushes this cup over to Brundy, and the cup has a dark, acrid smelling liquid in it. And then he turns around and he starts putting together your plates, ladling out some like meat stew onto some bread and potatoes. It looks like it's almost all kind of all together.
Red just gonna take his
House
cup
slop.
and he's just gonna bring it to his lips. He's gonna smell it. What's it smell like?
It smells like beer.
And he's just gonna take a little sip.
Tastes like beer.
Okay.
It's pretty good actually.
Then he's gonna look into the other thing, and he's just gonna lean down and take a little sniff of that.
Oh,
I think
smells
I
like
made a good-
kerosene.
Yeah, I think I made a good choice. You enjoy that.
We'll see. I'll give it a try.
So, is Brundy gonna drink the Gazarine?
Yeah, I'll I won't chug it. I'll give it a taste first.
So just a small taste.
Yeah.
You give it a small taste, and at first, at first, there's a little bit of a smoothness. It's nice. Whoo, and then there's a burn. But that's kind of nice too. You're left with a smoky aftertaste, and that kind of fills your nostrils. It's pretty weird. You're maybe even a little bit lightheaded after drinking a sip of it.
Like mezcal. Is
Well,
is this something that you take and you drop into the ale and then chug the whole?
I mean, you could try it. I don't know. I don't know if I would. But after a few moments, Joe whips back around. He's got 2 plates, big chunk of bread, gravy, meat, some veggies like potatoes and carrots, kind of stew like, but real thick. Smells good, smells hearty, and you are starving, so you dig in.
Is Are we just gonna sit at the bar? Or do we want to sit at a table? As a matter of fact, we're probably so hungry we don't care. We're probably just eating right
eating.
there.
Yeah, you're probably just like dig in. You're like you're going hard. So
Better than
Aepheus
anything we've had in a while.
in a while, because it's like fresh. I mean, it's like fresh cooked meat, so it's good.
It's not
A-
critically failed food.
Right, not critically failed food. It's like a good roast beast.
Did you hear what he said? It's fresh cooked meat. We don't know what we're eating.
Correct. Obviously, don't know what you're eating, but it is meat, and it has
I'll be
like
right
a
back.
beef-like taste.
I can hear. I'm just getting a drink.
Sure. Aepheus is back filling out paperwork. I'm gonna go ahead and make you make
A paperwork check.
yes, an intelligence check
Oh,
just to see how you're coming along. Um, it's not so much about because obviously you're taking your time, you're trying to be accurate. It's more about how long it takes you.
I'm
Okay,
kind of used to it. Yeah.
all right, because it's not terribly difficult to fill out if you're if you're like relatively smart. And obviously Aepheus, he's a clever guy.
Got that +5 on my
Right.
primary stat.
Yeah, he's a
Crazy.
clever guy. So he's pretty good, and he knows that things are like really, I gotta get this done. I really gotta get this done. So he's working extra hard, kind of tuning everything out, and then all of the sudden he hears his name. Uh, Package for Aepheus Belamonti. The trainee is
What?
you kind of like think you heard your name, so you look up and you see this absolutely bedraggled looking guy. Clearly a tiefling. He's got kind of pinkish skin, and he's got a little tail peeking out the back of his leather coat. He looks ragged. He's got like a patchy beard that looks like kind of burnt, and he has a limp to it. And he has this little package. Let me see that. And Gwildor grabs the package, and you're kind of witnessing this whole thing, but you're positive this guy said your name.
Okay. I'll watch the package being handed over.
So Gwildor has questions the guy, says, "Where is this from?" You have information about the sender. It's supposed to be for Aepheus Belamonti. Yes, you already said that. Oh, I just need you to sign. So Gwildor signs this thing, gives it back to the guy, and then takes this just it's not very big, just like this little package. It looks like it's wrapped in like butcher's paper and twine. And he doesn't even look at you or say anything to you. He takes the package and puts it in his desk and then goes back to his work. And this mushmouth tiefling that delivered the package just kind of starts to limp away.
Interesting. I will inquire about the package after I finish the paperwork.
Okay. All right. So you go back to the paperwork again, knowing you got to get this stuff done. Back at the bar, Brundy and Reg have cleaned their plates. I mean, it was good. You might have even picked the thing. You were definitely doing the bread scrape, but you might have even picked it up and done a little lick if you were so inclined. I feel like Brundy might be the type to actually pick up the plate and lick. And so you've got all that done. Your ale is mostly done. How is Brundy with the Gazarine?
He'd be drinking it pretty steadily,
Okay.
man.
So you're drinking it, and of course you are eating. Go ahead and make a Constitution check.
Mm.
Okay. So you're drinking it, and even though it's only just a little like tumbler glass, and the only other thing that you had was the ale, and that didn't seem very strong, and you were eating, you're drunk.
Ooh.
You're not totally wasted, but you're drunk. And you didn't realize it until you like finished your meal and kind of like you were kind of like bent over eating your meal and you kind of sat up. And when you kind of sat up, you kind of like went like a little woozy
All
because
right.
there's no back to the stool that you're sitting on because you guys are still sitting at the bar.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Uh, we should hit the town. We have some time. We should see some. Hey, Joe. I'll wave over at Joe.
Yeah. Wow. Hey. Wow.
Hey,
He's still conscious. That's great.
that was some pretty good stuff. We're
Wait a
kind of new
second.
here. Yeah.
How many fingers am I holding up?
What are fingers?
Okay. Well, maybe not
3.
that good, but yeah, that's great. And then he like slides the gold back over to you. He slides your gold back over to you and he's like, "First time. Still awake? I feel that earns you a free meal."
Hell yeah.
Uh,
Damn.
I, still, being drunk. I think I would. I think I would still take the gold back, but like keep it separate from the rest of my gold. Just paranoid
Like
about it.
special gold.
Right.
Well, thank you, Joe. I was going to ask you. We're looking for some fun in the town, and we're kind of new. Do you got any good recommendations?
Well, it depends on what you're trying to get into. Lots of fun to be had here, but be careful. Also, hey, you guys look new here in town. Be careful. You know, it's there's some rough places around. Not everywhere. You're safe here by the courts, for the most part, unless you do anything illegal. Don't do anything illegal. Not here, anyway. Um, maybe down in the hive. Uh, anyway, well, what were you looking for again?
Yeah, Grundy. What were you looking for?
Just something fun. Just something fun. Something to look at the city. We gotta experience it while we're here.
Hmm. I don't know. I don't want to send anybody anywhere they're gonna regret. What do you think, pal?
Uh, trying to think. What would Reg do in a new city if he weren't? Man, that's no. Well, usually when I'm in a new city, you know, kind of stay around places like this. A little bit of drinking, a little bit of whoring,
Oh no.
a little bit of
Oh.
gambling, a little bit of gambling. But maybe, I don't know about this. I ain't never been here before. Maybe though, maybe we could just see the sights or maybe take in a show. What's the best part of the city to see?
I
It's
mean
right around.
the
Our
whole
friend is our friend is over at the courts.
legal trouble. That makes
Nah, nah,
sense.
nah. He said something about joining the governors.
Oh. Huh. Joining the governors, eh? Well, big shot. Huh. Oh, well, yeah. Then that's all right. Let's see, a show, the best part of the city. Well, that's hard to say. The city's big. There are well, you see, there are a bunch of wards. Um, right now, you're in the ladies' ward, court district. Near here, you got nobles district. Probably not much fun to have there.
Oh,
Gray
who's this?
towers.
Who's this lady?
Oh, the Lady of Pain.
Oh,
Uh, she runs the cage here. That's what they call this city. And best you keep her name out of your mouth and try to avoid any confrontations. Let's put it that way. Hmm.
The
Let's
Lady of
see.
Pain. Is that what he said?
Lady of Pain, correct.
Okay.
Wow. Gee, I don't know. I mean, usually I just say stay here and drink at Joe's because, well, Joe's is where it's at. But I guess if you really wanted to see something, you'd probably go over to the Great Bazaar. That's in the Guild Hall and Market Ward.
a
That's where things
market.
get really bizarre.
A market. That's a good place to go. How do we get there?
Uh, well, it's a little bit tricky, but I suppose I could probably draw you a little bit of a map, give you some instructions.
Oh yeah. Hey, I've got some paper here, and I have my notebook that I've been drawing in. I'll just flip open up a page for him.
Okay. He takes your little notebook and he starts to draw a pretty rudimentary map with some basically common notations. Looks like you're going to
I
have to go through the nobles ward. Unfortunately,
and I can't read and
you
he's
can't,
drawing.
right? Of course. So he kind of makes these notations. I mean, there's a map, and he kind of explains it as he goes a little bit. Um, Reg, go ahead and make an intelligence check. See how much of this you'll be able to retain just kind of from memory watching him. Watching him.
My
It was so
God,
close to being
it
that
was.
17.
It was.
Yeah. So you're trying to follow along, but he's kind of going fast because he knows the area. He's probably written this little map and these notes like a million different times. Tears it all, or well, he gives you back the paper, and yeah, you've got this little, again, hastily drawn map with some notes on it about uh, how to get to the bazaar and maybe see some sights. Uh, Anything else here? Or are you just gonna take off?
I think we're just gonna take off.
All right. So you take off, and
Thank you, Joe.
Yes, thank you, Joe.
no problem, guys. Good luck, and come again. You go out of Joe's, and Grundy, go ahead and make an intelligence check -2,
So
or
I'm
with a
putting.
penalty of 2, I guess. Yeah.
Do I just put 2 in the mod, or do I put -2 in the mod? Let's find out.
Ah.
I'm gonna put in -2.
We haven't done that yet. I was just gonna do it on the fly, but
So I rolled a 13, and then it dropped it to a 12.
does that even do anything?
Mhm.
That even did anything.
Yeah, because I have a +1 to my. Oh, wait. No, I have a -1.
Yeah, so I don't think the mod actually did anything, but that's okay. So you got a 10 essentially.
It should be a 10.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, you got a 10. So
What if I just do. That made it worse. Nope, it doesn't like negatives. Okay.
no, I guess not. Weird. Okay, so Brundy's looking at this map and he's going on this map. And Reg, I'll give you another chance. Make an intelligence check.
Hey, there we go.
You're following him, and after about 20 minutes of like just walking through city, and like, man, all this just looks the same, and it's like smoky and it's smoggy, and then just all kinds of stuff. You're like, what the? It's pretty bad. You're thinking that you're not going in the right direction.
Okay.
But now you've walked for 20 minutes in this city and everything looks different now. But you don't think you're in a bazaar and you don't really know where you are. You've kind of like gotten a little bit confused.
To add to the confusion, the dice roll did work. My 12 was correct. When you roll, apparently when you roll on the character sheet, it adds your level as part of the.
Oh, that's right.
check.
That's right. Okay, so then 12, okay, then 12 was right.
It
But
didn't change the
it
outcome,
doesn't
but
change the result, but and now we know. That's good to know
yes.
that you can do that and it does work.
Listen,
So
Grundy. I think we've gone the wrong way.
Is this
Let's
the wrong way, or are we just going the right way the wrong time?
Well, I think we need to try to get back to Joe's and then work our way back again. So let's try that.
All right.
Hmm.
Okay.
so how are you going to try and get back to Joe's? Cuz at this point you're like, what? Are you just going to try and like turn around and wing it, Are you gonna
Yeah,
maybe
pretty
ask
much.
for directions? So you're not gonna try and ask for directions. You're just gonna like
Yeah,
see what
he's
you can
a little
do.
freaked out with these people.
Okay, okay. Go ahead and make an intelligence check.
Hold on.
And because it is definitely yeah, it's definitely not going to be easy for you to figure your way back. You've
Brunyr is
totally
kind of
gotten
like
turned around.
checked out a bit and like just trusting
Yeah,
Reggie
there
and
we
like
are.
taking in the sights.
You're like, God, you think you know the way back, and you're wandering around. Finally, after about 10 or 15 minutes, you think you've found the courts where the courts are again. You're like, wait, okay, you think this is the spot. It's got to be around here somewhere. Joe's has got to be around here somewhere. Um, Meanwhile, Aepheus Belamonti back in the governor's headquarters. Make another intelligence check for me to see where he was on his paperwork.
Sure.
Okay, you're starting to finish up, and as you put the finishing touches on, you are so hungry. I mean, your stomach is like growling, but also you remember Gwildor Gardenia accepted a package for you like a while ago from a very unusual looking dude.
Right. Uh, let's see. Hold on a second. Mr. Gardenia, I've finished with the paperwork. Um,
Ah, good, good.
Here you are. If I do recall correctly, was there a package for me dropped off by Tiefling gentleman earlier?
Ah, yes. There was a package, but it was specifically addressed to Aepheus Belamonti, trainee of the Fraternity of Order. So I'll need to go through this paperwork to make sure that everything is in order before I can release the package into your custody. It shouldn't take me very long. Maybe you'd like to join your fellows over at that bar for a drink. They're probably sloshed right now, and we might need to bring them in.
I think that is a very wise conclusion. Yes, let me go grab them. I
All
will be
right,
back.
sounds good. So he starts looking through your paperwork, and you go back out into the streets. And of course, it's very, very busy. And as you go back out into the street, you think you see kind of like a block down. You think you see Reg and Grundy just kind of like both like just kind of like looking like
Yeah,
very
very towards me.
confused.
I was like, oh my goodness. At least they haven't gotten themselves into too much trouble. I'll quickly walk over to them. Fellas, are you okay?
Oh, hey.
Atheist, what's good?
Oh dear.
So are you a governor now?
Um, in the process, yes, my paperwork is being processed. I'm so hungry. Um, would you like to go back to the bar and could really grab a meal right now. Maybe lay off the alcohol a little bit
Round two.
or
he
not.
had he had something called gas
Gasoline.
gasoline. I
Gasoline.
ain't ne- I ain't never s- I ain't never seen anything. It was this big. I ain't never seen anything that big.
That's what your mom said.
Oh. So as you're talking, you kind of
My
wandered
mother is
over
a
to
saint, like
Joe's,
you.
and you go into Joe's, and of course Joe greets you again. Ah, new friend. Hey there. Are you the you're working over at the courts, huh?
Ah, yes. I see my friends here have relayed about me. Yeah, I am soon to be, fingers crossed, trainee of the governess. Very exciting times. Um, it did you give my friend here a special concoction of yours?
Gazarine. Oh yeah, he did great. He's still up,
I
huh? That's amazing.
I suppose that he is, for now. Could I order a meal? Yes, your most savory filling meal. I'm starving.
Ah, yes, of course. Want some ale with that?
Yes, probably not the actually,
You don't
Oh,
want that.
yeah,
you want
Aepheus.
it. You should try some. It's pretty good.
Well, I don't even know if Aepheus is in the mood to drink right now. It's a pretty serious kind of business day.
Also,
Uh,
he's like
Mhm.
super hungry.
yeah.
Yeah,
So it's like it
ale.
would be on an
That's the
empty
thing.
stomach.
Yeah.
Really, like ale is probably like
Calories, it's filling.
ale is calories, and it's only like 1 to 2% alcohol.
Yeah,
You know,
it's not super high. Yeah,
so
right,
so
right, right.
ale is like the normal stuff that
Just
you're gonna.
liquid bread.
Hmm.
That's what
Right.
you're gonna. Yeah,
Right,
that's what
Yeah.
you're
right.
gonna.
Well,
That's what you're gonna drink. So
I'll have an ale. Yeah. I'll skip the Gazarine. Thank you.
All right.
Maybe later celebration.
I'll do another ale, and I'm gonna sit Grundy down beside Aepheus.
He charges you yeah, 4 silver for the entire thing.
Sounds like Joe's a little sloshed himself.
And
Sorry,
Yeah.
fellas.
I'll hand over the silver.
Reg is gonna look around to see if he can see anybody gambling.
He sees a pair of individuals who are playing a game that looks like it's similar to dominoes.
Pizza?
Yes, it's disgusting and tastes like
Whoa, whoa,
cardboard.
Yeah,
whoa,
yeah, right.
whoa!
No, it's no dominoes, like the game dominoes. They're like
Tile-based
kind
thing.
of some tile based
Yeah,
thing where they're kind of
Okay,
pushing the
yeah. You not know
tiles
the domino time?
together, all that.
okay. So important.
It's a fun game.
Can I understand what they're saying?
Yeah. Yeah, these guys it seem like they're talking in kind of a common and you do understand.
I'm gonna take some time and I'm just gonna watch because I want to see if I can learn the game. Because I do have one of my skills, one of my class abilities is gambling.
Okay.
He's gonna watch. He's gonna see if he can learn the game.
Okay. Since you're watching to learn the game, go ahead and make your gambling skill, and you're kind of watching while you
Okay, so
drink and while Aepheus gets.
so gambling is either intelligence or wisdom. So learning the game,
I'm gonna
intelligent.
say learning the game is intelligence.
Okay.
Is definitely gonna be intelligence.
Tough.
Their jargon is a little weird. The game is a little weird. It's
Hmm.
hard to get a great grasp on it. If you had
Okay.
more time, possibly, but Aepheus is finished eating, and the other thing is that Regis kind of noticed that him paying attention to these other guys at the bar has caught the attention of someone else.
Okay. So I'm gonna start not not openly, but I'm gonna start paying attention to that as well.
Yeah, just there's kind of a figure to in by themselves in the corner. You're not even sure what this person is. Like they're hooded and they're kind of in the corner, and you don't really, it's hard to even see any facial features or anything, but you noticed that they were kind of down, but when you started paying attention to those two fellas gaming, this person kind of started paying attention to your crowd.
Okay. So I'm gonna keep a side eye on. While I'm watching, I'm just gonna keep a side eye on this guy.
Okay. So you're kind of watching, but you're not really getting it, and Aepheus is finally, once again, he same thing, cleaned his plate completely. It was great, and it was very
Delicious.
filling. Drained your mug of ale. Reg didn't even realize it. He was so thirsty, he drained his whole another mug of ale. What is drunk Grundy doing while all this is happening? Because obviously Reg is looking, Aepheus is eating, Grundy is.
Hmm. Yep.
And I would assume that Brundy would order another full meal with the mug and the gasoline and try to do it again so he got his gold back.
Oh, man.
I don't know. Grundy's pretty small. I don't know if would be hungry if it was that big of a meal.
He's actually, go ahead and just I'll tell you, make a
But
go ahead and make a wisdom check.
is.
Yeah,
Woo!
Brundy is probably just sitting on his bar stool going at this point, like just kind of like looking
Oh,
around.
oh, I gotta know if I can do a handstand. I'm gonna try to do like a handstand on the wall somewhere.
Okay, okay. Make a dexterity check -4.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Get
Yeah.
almost.
Brunny, he gets up on the wall. He's like trying to do it. He almost does it, but then he kind of like falls down. Now that person that was paying attention to you is really paying attention to Brundy. But then again, everybody in the bar is kind of paying attention to Brundy. But now Aepheus and everyone, you finished eating, and kind of Brundy's on the floor. Your mugs are drained. Aepheus' plate's clean. And the bar seems like it's beginning to fill up. Like it's starting to maybe get around lunchtime or dinner time. You're not sure which.
Okay. Uh, Gentlemen, I have to go back. I believe my paperwork will be processed at this point. I don't know if the proceeding will be uh, your presence welcome, or you can stay here. Just try not to uh, draw any more attention to yourself than doing a handstand against a wall.
So we should go with you.
Uh, I mean, the worst is that they just kick you back out again, of course.
All right.
So then you decide that what's the worst that can happen? You take your friends back over to the courts. You go inside, and of course, uh, you can see that Gwildor Gardenia has. Looks like he's just finishing up reviewing your paperwork. He's at the last couple sheets, and he kind of turns it over as you come in, and he says, "Ah, good, 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 good." He takes this big stamper and he goes, "Chung chung," and gives you this sheet, and he says, "It's official. Congratulations, Aepheus Belamonti. You are officially a trainee of the Fraternity of Orders. Welcome to the Governors."
Oh, thank you, sir. I'm most excited to be here. Uh, what uh, what follows now?
Well, what follows now normally would be a lot more paperwork. However, your situation is very, very unusual. So, in fact, While you were filling this out, where did I put it? Yes, here. And he pulls out the package and he hands it to you. This came
Oh,
for
right.
you while you were filling that out.
Yes. I'll wait to open it. You know, see what's next.
Well, what's next is trying to find out what happened to your master, Archimethylgarethes. He's still missing. I'm assuming you still don't know where he is.
Yes, that is very concerning. Uh, you wouldn't happen to have any suggestions or be of assistance, uh, would you?
But you don't think that package might not be from him? Possibly? I don't know.
That is a good point. I guess I should open it now. And I guess I'll take the parchment off.
So take the butcher paper off, unwrap the twine,
It's his
and
head. It's his head.
it's not big enough to be his head. The box is like only about this big. It's like maybe about the size of like a cigar box.
Oh, so it's his foot.
Actually,
Hmm.
when you open it, you're slightly disgusted because it's not his head or his foot,
It's his balls.
but you're pretty sure that inside this box, with a little curled up piece of parchment, is your master's left pinky. And you know specifically that it's his left pinky because you've cleaned his disgusting gnarled nails way too many times, and you recognize that long gnarled coke nail that he's got like
Oh,
hanging off of his
Aw, man.
it's all like it's his finger is all like withered and wrinkled, and the nail is all cracked and yellowed and like all misshapen. And you're quite sure that this is the finger of Archimethylgarethes.
Oh no. Oh no, that is not good. Rather gross too. I believe this is my master's. Oh,
Oh
this is not.
no! Good
Yeah.
lords!
Well, there's a paper in there. You ought to read it.
So there's a little piece of twine on that. It's like kind of grimy. You like pull that off. Like all this is really dirty and grimy, and it has a weird smell to it. Sulfury, like stinky. The whole thing smells stinky, but not like a rotted finger, like a rotten eggs almost.
Okay.
When you pull open the note, uh, the note says, "If you want to find the rest of your master, come to the spike in Rib Cage. Bring your 2 new friends. The password is suffering."
Dun dun
Bars.
dun.
Exactly. Yes.
Do I know where Ribcage is?
You do. In fact, I'll just refresh your memory. If you remember from your Aepheus's story, his initial intro, the God's Eye was acquired in some dirty, dingy, weird back alley deal in Ribcage. You were kind of aware of it, and this happened like weeks and
Like
weeks
session
ago.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. But in even in game terms for Atheist, this was like weeks and weeks and weeks ago that you recall your master acquiring the God's Eye. You were with him when he did, but he didn't really say much about it. and then all of a sudden, the painting and all this weird stuff, and you found it. So you know where Ribcage is. You've been there a total of once, which was when you went with your master to get the God's Eye a few weeks ago. You were only there a very short time, and your master told you to like talk to nobody. I mean, you basically like stayed super close with your master, kind of waited on the street corner while he did this weird back alley dealing, and then you got the fuck out of there.
Okay. Well, I guess we're going to Ribcage. Um, Mr. Gardenia, you wouldn't happen to know of a door to Ribcage, or
Ribcage? Oh my good dear lords! We've got a severed finger. We've got some kind of a ransom note, and now you're wanting to go to Ribcage? Oh, well.
Why are all these body parts?
You'll find out when you get to Ribcage, if you're going. But
I
if you're
suppose we
going to
must.
Ribcage, you might want to have that one sober up a little bit. It would be well, it's going to be very dangerous anyway. But you need to find Archimethylgarethes. I think it can be arranged. We can give you something that will help you travel there. But you'll be on your own. We won't be able to communicate with you, not in Ribcage. Too dangerous, especially with all the things that have been going on lately. Anyway, you should probably. You're so mismatched. You should probably equip yourselves if you're thinking you're going to Ribcage. Maybe get a good night's sleep, a good meal. Look at that one. Oh. Anyway, if you're going to
Which one?
Ribcage, he kind of pointed in an indistinct direction towards like which could have been either of you.
Yeah.
As I said, I think we can facilitate your journey to Ribcage because we also are very concerned about Archimethylgarethes. This is highly unlike him, and now that you've showed up here and we know that he is truly missing, well, it is our duty to find out what's going on with him. So, you'll need some place to stay, and you can't stay here in the courts. Did you go to that bar?
Yes, we did.
There are rooms for rent above the bar. I suggest you take one of those rooms, get yourselves cleaned up, and be here first thing in the morning. We'll get you to Ribcage, and then hopefully you'll be able to find your master, Archimethylgarethes.
Okay, that sounds like a plan.
Why does
And
everybody say his name like that?
How would you say his name?
you'll know when you meet him. Um, in terms of my traineeship here, do I report to you as my mentor, or is
Yes, you'll report to me for all communications. But for now, we'll have to put all that on hold. Again, this situation is highly unusual, and
it
because
is?
the note specifically was addressed to you, and you are the apprentice of Archimethylgarethes, I believe that you are the responsible party.
Of course, I do understand that. I wanted to confirm first before I ask you for some advice.
Ah,
Um,
yes.
would you happen to have any idea what this is? And I reach into my pouch and pull out the God's Eye.
You pull it out, and as it has always done in the past, it's a little crystal ball, but of course, as you know, there's a little kind of eye that appears just for a moment and kind of looks around at you. The same thing happens. Gwildor kind of like jumps back a little bit. Oh, what is that? The God's Eye. I'm not familiar with it.
It is quite strange, and a little unnerving. If you are not familiar, then I will put it away. But I do believe my master's disappearance has something to do with this. Um, but yes, yes, of course,
Sir,
we will go to.
sir, excuse me. Kind of a younger looking alkalite comes up and,
Is that Matt?
clerk.
Is that Matt?
Matt, yeah, Matt. Little poofy blonde hair, glass. Sir,
Is
um,
this referring to me or
he's
Gardenia?
talking to Gardenia. Orders from the top, sir. And then he kind of like shuffles off. Hmm. Ah, well, I have something else for you. I need you to write me a written report of everything that has happened since your master disappeared. Be as detailed as possible. It will definitely help us. And then he gives you, again, some more papers, a quill, and he tells you you can take it with you if you need time. Just bring it back tomorrow. We'll review it when we send you on your way.
Okay. Then I will see you tomorrow. Thank you, Gwildor. It was a pleasure to meet your acquaintance. I'm sorry this has all happened and uh,
Highly unusual.
highly unusual, yes. All right, gentlemen, let's make our way.
So
Alrighty.
you make
Quildor. They
your
should call that guy Quildor. He makes all the writing shit.
so you
Gwildor.
make your way out. Do you take Gwildor's advice and see if you can get a room over Joe's?
Yeah, it
I
seems
think
like
so.
Joe
Yeah.
is a
I think so. Yeah.
pretty
Mhm.
nice guy and not a bad establishment.
You're able to get a room that's big enough for all three of you for about a gold piece a night. And that seems to suit your purposes. It's Joe's biggest room and it happens to be empty, so it's pretty good. Joe seems like a nice fella, not a bad landlord, even if only temporary. So you spend a gold on the room for the night, maybe spend another gold to get some more food.
Room service for dinner.
Yeah, some more food.
Is that person still in the bar?
That
Oh
person
yeah.
is still in the bar.
Okay. So I'm gonna kind of surveil that person a little bit while I'm down. Like I'm gonna spend the afternoon and the evening there, maybe watching the people play dominoes,
Mhm.
play dice or play cards, or I'm gonna kind of like wander, just kind of.
Sure, sure. You're kind of checking things out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That individual stays kind of in the corner in the same place. He checks out you, he checks out other people, or they check out other people again. You're not really even sure if it's a he. Um, it's difficult to say, just kind of this shadowy figure, though they're humanoid and they're like human size, roughly, but a lot of people are human size here and they're not necessarily human. You've noticed that. So, this individual has been shady looking, but nothing really happens. And then eventually, you eat your dinner. You kind of maybe have a little bit of a grasp on some of the games. Uh, Grundy is finally starting to sober up after hours, and
And orders another gasoline.
right,
Just
right, and you guys are all honestly starting to get very tired. You feel like it's probably a good idea to maybe bed down for the night, get some rest, and get prepared for your journey to Ribcage in the morning. And the other thing that you're starting to think about as you're like sitting around is that, especially as Brundy's like sobering up, you were thinking about, oh, dang, I should have replaced my sword. I was so drunk I didn't even think about it. You're thinking that like it might be a good idea to check out some equipment, but it's late, you're tired, and you really think you need to rest. Brundy's has like a terrible headache.
Yeah. If we're well, first for the 2 gold, I will take care of that 2 gold. So just so we're not losing too much gold here. I will also cast Lay on Hands on myself before I go to bed for the night.
Okay. How does that work?
I
Is
think
that
it's
just
just
a
flat
a
2
flat
HP.
2? Okay. So you go ahead
Yeah.
and get that back, and I think that we should probably do our stopping point right here.
Sounds like a good plan.
I agree.
Yeah. But are we going to call this episode paperwork, paperwork, paperwork?
Paperwork, yeah, exactly.
Hi, my name is Cameron, and I play Aepheus Belamonti in our Planescape campaign, Save Hell. You're watching Dicks in the Dark.
Oh, we need to roll a vibe.
We need
Before
a
I
vibe.
go, fuck.
Right.
We got to roll a vibe.
All right. Did I fix the macro?
Ooh, yes.
Yikes.
Ah, that
Uh,
is 90 of
it's
420?
No, 666.
666.
666.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Critically
420.
low.
Yeah.
That's right. Now
It's,
420 is
it's a
Mega
number.
Dungeon 666.
Yep.
Yes, yes. That's right. That makes sense. Because it is Save Hell today.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's the lowest number we've had. We've had 600s, we had like 100, 200s, but that's the first 2-digit number.
Interesting. Well, we'll see how that bodes for you.
Bound by fate, 3 souls unite in the depths of hell to make you rise.